Good morning, people. Welcome back to another video. I'm consistent with it, back again another week. Today is Wednesday the 21st of January and it is a rest day for me. So I'm going to talk you through, I'm going to show you guys what I eat on a rest day. Food is super high at the moment, so it's definitely a couple of gems that I can give you guys if you're at that stage. We'll get into that later on. So Wednesday is a work from home day for me. I get to work from home, which makes life a lot easier because I don't have to travel. I can prep my meals fresh. I don't have to take them with me. Routine is just a little bit better. Plus, I get to spend a little bit of time with Theo in the morning before I get into work, and I get to drop him off, pick him up. It's just a great day. I'm currently doing my fasted cardio. I normally do anywhere from 30 to 60 minutes on a rest day, but today we're doing 30 minutes on the bike. This bike has been a game changer. If you're looking to really improve your consistency with cardio, the best thing you can do is just get a piece of cardio equipment at home, because wake up, cardio equipment is there, there's no excuses. But yeah, today is also my check-in day. So sent over some check-in pictures to the coach. I'm just about to send it now. But yeah, I'm happy with the look today. Body weight hasn't changed much. 92.9 kg this morning, and around that 92.5 to 93 kg on average. So yeah, we're holding body weight, holding good condition. It just ensures that when I do start prep, I'm starting in a very good position. This is probably one of the first preps that I will do that I'm starting in a solid position. Well, the other preps, it's been a decent position, but just the approach was a little bit different last time. I bulked up to 103 kilos one time, 98 kilos the other time, but this time I'll be starting prep at 93 kilos. So that means I'll only have to lose about 8 to 10 kilos over 20 weeks. So that will ensure that I hold on to as much muscle as possible. So I'm very excited for the look. So guys, let me know what you think about the look. Comment down below. Are we looking good? Hello, Theo. But yeah, I'm gonna get into the day, gonna do this cardio, drop the little man to creche, and then we will start work. And I might talk to you guys a little bit about what I do as well, because I don't think I've ever talked about the science side of what I do. Of course, you guys know I am a natural bodybuilding coach, but I'm also a scientist and a dad, and etc. But yeah, sit back, relax, and enjoy the video. Let's go. Ooh, this looks nice, doesn't it? Is Daddy a chef? Is your daddy a chef? Baby, look at that.
Oh wow, babe.
Banging, right?
Banging.
Look at all the juices from all the berries trickling down, the pistachio cream, the pistachio nuts. Banging, right?
So, what you thinking? Okay, yum yum.
Okay, so meal number one is pancakes. And we have on the pancakes some pistachio nuts crushed up and then some pistachio cream. This meal is roughly, let's see, about 1,000 calories. 55 grams of protein, 158 grams of carbs, a lot of carbs. And then there is 28 grams of fat, right? This meal is usually baked oats that I would whip together. Same ingredients: banana, oats, cinnamon, egg whites, 2 whole eggs, and then I'll make some kind of like extra egg whites on the side. But today I am out of baking powder, so that is why I opted for the protein pancakes and then some extra berries on the side. That is meal number one. We'll catch you guys at meal number two. So currently taking a little work break to prep meal number two, which is currently cooking in the air fryer. I'll show you guys what I'm having when it's all done. But yeah, I just thought I would chat a little bit about what I do. You know, I've always talked about my fitness journey. I've always talked about my business as a online coach and bodybuilding coach, but what do I actually do outside of that? So I am a scientist. I did my bachelor's in science, specializing in medicinal chemistry, and then from there I went straight into doing a PhD. And my research project was focused on the design, development of anti-parasitic agents. So I specifically studied tuberculosis, malaria, African sleepless sickness, you know, all of these diseases that plagued developing countries, because that was something I was passionate about. You know, I really did love my PhD, especially because it was something that was just so impactful. So from there, you know, I went to work for one of the largest pharmaceutical companies in the world and spent 3 years there. And I've currently now moved on to another pharmaceutical company, but we are more like a contract pharmaceutical company. So when a company wants to make a certain drug at large scale, they come to us to see if we can produce it for them. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I enjoy it. I love it. I think I will always do bodybuilding and science. Those are my two big passions in life, and to be able to make money from it and to be able to, you know, create a life that I want through these things is just a dream of mine. So I'm happy. This is the kind of setup that I want for my future. So yeah, that's it. If there's any comments on that, any questions you guys want to know how I balance both of them, I'll do another video kind of laying out my whole routine. But yeah, it can be difficult being a father, having a job, having a business on the side, managing relationships. Can be very difficult, but you know, through trial and error and figuring out what structure and routine works for me, I've been able to balance it all and, you know, enjoy it. Because you know, when you get into doing so much, sometimes you forget to just be present and enjoy what you're doing. And I really do believe I'm enjoying what I'm doing at the moment now. So yeah, I suppose you guys get to see the reality of navigating all of that while prepping for the stage, while prepping for bodybuilding competition. So that will be coming very soon, because prep is due to start very soon, which is very exciting. I feel like I'm saying very a lot, but it's very cool. Yeah, I'll show you guys meal number 2 now, and then we'll get to the rest of the day. Now we are on to meal number 2. So what we have here, 450 grams of sweet potato, we have about 100 grams of mixed veg, and then we have 220 grams of chicken breast, seasoned very well. We have then 3 of these fruit loaves. If you shop in Aldi, you know what I mean. Works out to be around 120 grams of that. One more thing I forgot to add, and that is sauce. Right, this is the Aldi equivalent of Nando's sauce. I go for the medium peri peri. She's just back from her run. Yeah, this is the best sauce. I put this on absolutely everything. Chicken, beef, fish, it goes with everything. This combined with mustard, trust me, it's nice. Give it a go. So I don't really track sauces. I'm not really tracking sauces at the moment. It is something that I would probably track when I do start prep. But things like veg, things like berries, things like lowish calorie sauces, I don't really track. But you know, if you're looking to be within a specific deficit and towards the latter end of a prep, it's probably something you want to do. But yeah, this is the next meal. I think it works out to be around 900 calories. So that works out to be 925 calories. I'm going to put the macros on the screen here. So yeah, I'm going to get this down, and then it is off to meal number 3 next. Catch you soon. So I'm about to whip up meal number 3, have a little work break, so I'm going to make some food. This is what I like about you know, working from home, is that, you know, I can just prep them fresh and they taste so much nicer. One of the things that you have to figure out, especially when you're in a latter end of a growth phase, when you're really pushing food, is foods that digest easy for you. For me, previous growth phases, I found that I was consuming like carbohydrate sources, protein sources that I didn't necessarily digest well. I was very much in denial about cream of rice, because cream of rice tastes amazing, but just for me, it just doesn't sit well. Ended up being just bloated, led to some digestive issues. My body weight was just thrown off, and I wasn't really able to assess true body composition because I was just bloated all the time. I was just watery, just basically from what I was consuming. It just didn't sit well with me, given the fact that I was on high calories. And one of the main changes I've made this off season is really just consistently consuming the things that digest well with me. So things like sushi rice for a carbohydrate source is high in carbohydrates per 100 grams, higher in calories, but just sits better with me. Things like cod sits better with me as a protein source. Chicken instead of red meat, you know, when I'm really pushing food, I make that swap. So try and figure out what works best for you. Another gem is make life convenient for yourself, right? Getting things like I spoke about, getting cardio equipment at home helps you hit your cardio, just makes life a lot easier because you don't have to travel. When it comes to cooking as well, get yourself a air fryer, get yourself a rice cooker. It just makes life so much easier, and it takes a lot of the prep work out of eating food. From coaching a lot of people, I found that the main issue is that a lot of people grow up just not learning how to cook for themselves. So when it comes to their adulthood, when they're looking to diet or improve their body composition or health or fitness, you know, cooking is a major hurdle because they just don't have the experience cooking and don't want to spend a lot of time in the kitchen. But when it comes to eating healthy and eating for your needs, you can very much simplify things. You know, go for simple carbohydrate sources, protein sources, fats, and just make life easier for yourself by buying utensils like a air fryer that allows you just to cook these meals very, very quickly, pop it in, it's done, right? And if enjoyment of food is something that you want to pair with that, just get creative when it comes to making these simple meals. You can change a meal by just adding in sauces or adding in seasonings that you like, and you can vary it so it tastes different on different weeks. You know, bodybuilding and physique development, it can be monotonous. It can be very boring, quote unquote boring, right? Because you just having to do the same thing on repeat and just consistently get results from it. So when it comes to day-to-day variation, it's not really recommended, right? And you'll just be spinning your wheels, which a lot of people do. And that's why you see a lot of people yo-yo dieting. So make life a lot easier for yourself. Find clever ways to make these meals more interesting for yourself. That is the key. That's the blueprint. So meal number 3 is ready, and it is, if you guys can see that, right, let me do this. We have cod, and then we have 100 grams of sushi rice, and that's raw weight. And you're probably asking me why there is no veg in this meal, because usually I would have veg with all my meals, and I try and get in, well, I did try and get in about 500 grams of veg across the whole day. But now that we are pushing food, I'm finding it that digestion is starting to slow down a little bit. So things like veg slow down the digestion of carbohydrates and protein even more. So the solution to that is take away a little bit of my veg. But my fruit intake is still quite high. So when it comes to getting in my micros, I'm pretty much secure. Plus multivitamins, yada, yada, yada. But yeah, this is meal number 3. Again, we have cod, we have sushi rice, and of course, we have our sauce, which is going to be, I'm switching it up now. I'm going for the garlic peri-peri sauce. And then I have an apple on the side, so I just track this as one medium-sized apple. And I'll catch you guys for the next and final meal. Just back home from picking Theo up from creche. So gonna eat this, finish up work, and have a little bit of fun. Play with some toys. Yeah, let's get it. So that is bedtime routine done. So what we do is by 7 o'clock, we go brush his teeth, we put him to bed, and Anna normally stays in the bed with him just to make sure that he falls asleep, and if he wants to be fed, she feeds him. And then I go out here, clean up the house, make sure all the toys are away, do the dishes, sweep the floors, just making sure that things are in a good place for the next day. Having a kid is like a full-time job, and it's just structure and rinsing and repeating, because if you fall out of structure, it can be very, very difficult to stay on top of things. With kids, it can be very, very chaotic. Also, there's a time for me to get myself prepared for the next day, so everything that I need in the morning to make my meals, so all the foods that I'm going to use to prep my meals is just out, instead of me having to root for stuff in the morning. And I'm going to make my last and final meal of the day, which is going to be some naan bread. If you get good quality naan, it's actually a very good carb source, because it has a lot of carbohydrates, very easy to digest, and it tastes really nice as well. Alongside that, I'm going to have some mince and some egg whites. I'm going to whip it up, show you guys what it looks like. I think myself and Anna have gotten into a really, really good rhythm now with Theo. But the thing is that with kids, things change like a lot. Things change unexpectedly. Like today, he didn't really feel too well tonight. He kept on throwing up, so that kind of put him off. So it's probably going to be a rough night tonight, because he'll probably wake up in the middle of the night wanting to get sick, or just not feeling well, or having constipation or digestive issues. But for the most of it, we have a really good structure, and then we just kind of help each other out when things like this do happen. Things like this you can't really predict, and they can be unavoidable, but the most important thing is that you control what you have control of. Becoming a dad has been one of the best things that's ever happened to me. I think it's just really put into perspective what is important in life. You won't get the feeling until you have a kid, but it's just that unconditional love. It's a true blessing, and it's made me more driven. It's made me more motivated to do well in life, so I can, you know, provide for him, but also be that example for him as well. I never really had that much of a male role model growing up, and I know how much it affected and impacted me, so I can be that role model for my son, which is again another amazing blessing. So by this time of the night, I'm trying to kind of just wind down and you know, get my final meals, get myself prepared for the next day. I found previously when I was just doing a lot during the day, and I didn't really have that downtime and to relax before bedtime, I had very poor quality sleep. And it makes sense, because, you know, our bodies have to enter this parasympathetic zone, this rest and digest zone, to fall into a really good sleep rhythm. So what I do is, you know, I have that downtime because Anna and Theo are in bed, get myself prepared, you know, put on these blue light blocking glasses, try not to be on my phone, and yeah, just stick something on YouTube, stick something on Netflix, and yeah, and eat my last meal. So I'll show you guys the brand of naan that I buy from Aldi. The macros are very, very good. They're actually so good, I found it hard to believe that this is actually accurate. But it is called Bilash. I might be pronouncing that wrong. Bilash cuisine, and it's just a plain naan because it's lower in fat. So in this, there is per 100 grams, there's 50 grams of carbs, there is 8 grams of protein, there is 1.9 grams of fat, and then 100 grams is like half of one of these large naans. So I'm gonna have 150 grams. So we have 150 grams of naan, popped it into the air fryer as well, just to crisp it up a little bit. And then we have 3 egg whites, which works out to be about around 100 grams of egg whites. We have 120 grams raw weight at 3% beef mince. And then the sauces are a little bit of barbecue sauce, a little bit of hot sauce. And then we have some kiwis beside that, because kiwis are an amazing fruit, especially before bed, because they contain minerals and agents that help you produce melatonin, which is the sleep hormone. So yeah, it's a fun fact for you. So I'm going to chow this down, maybe watch something on YouTube, chillax for the rest of the night, probably go to bed in the next 45 minutes to an hour, and then do the same thing tomorrow. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm going to put today's total on the screen somewhere here. It works out to be around 3,500, 3,600 calories, 240 grams of protein, 500 grams of carbs, and my fats anywhere between like 50 and 80 grams of fat on a rest day. I try and keep it a little bit lower on a training day. But yeah, that's my whole setup guys on a rest day. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you've made it this far in the video, please drop a comment down below. I mentioned that in the last video as well. You guys didn't comment, so it can be whatever, an emoji, anything. It really does help the videos get out there, helps the channel grow, more people to tune in to the journey and to learn from and being inspired from, and for us to just create a community, right? Yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. Slán.